I just state my full name?
We're live.
Alright, we're good.
We're back again. Should we say back again?
I think, yeah, in a way. Yeah, we're back again, in a way.
Davis here.
Chris here.
And today we have somebody special. We will ask her to introduce herself. Please.
My name is Pink. I'm a student at International School of Laos, and I'm in my senior year now.
Alright, you excited to graduate?
I have mixed feelings with that. It's a little bit emotional because I won't be with my friends anymore that I've been with for a really long time. And then I'm also really excited to start a new journey of life.
Yeah. She came prepared.
She is ready. Well rehearsed.
Well rehearsed. It's like she wrote her notes. I'm ready for this.
Why do you say you're emotional about graduation? What kind of emotions?
Oh, feeling of like I'm gonna miss my friends and like the teachers, the people I've been with for years, the people that developed me as a person.
Yeah.
So.
You know, there are some people who can't wait
To leave.
to leave.
To graduate.
I don't want to see my friends anymore.
There may be a couple of them, right?
Yeah.
Not for Pink though.
Not for Pink.
Not
She's
for
going
Pink.
to miss them.
So you mentioned people who helped you develop yourself. Tell us a little bit more about that.
About the people. Or about
Yeah, in general.
I mean, I've been with my friends for a really long time. I joined this school when around 4th grade term 2. So 4th grade term 2. And it's really like fun to see how they've grown as a person and then change me and then how people change within time.
So, can you say you've been growing at the same rate as your friends? Or did you have to change friends along the way?
Yeah, ever since I moved here, there was a lot of change. Like I changed a lot into a lot of friend groups, a lot of environments. So I wouldn't say I grew in the same pace as my friends in the school.
Because I remember she had a different circle of friends.
Yeah.
You remember? Right?
Yeah, way back,
Mhm.
grade 7.
Oh, I don't know.
That's as far as I can remember. That's as far as I can remember. Grade 7. How many years was that? 5?
I went to another school
5
around
years.
grade 7. I went to another school for 1 year and then I came back here.
Oh.
That's why.
I went to a public school. It's not a public school. It was like a cheap government school, not a government school, but it was more like a public school, and I was more exposed to that environment.
Tell us.
That's
about
interesting.
that. The difference.
Why did you move though?
Well, why did you move?
Well, because obviously I'm a Lao person. My mom wants me to learn more Lao because I'm more fluent in English, of course. But so she moved me to that school to be more Lao and just to experience new type of school because I've only been in private school and international school like my whole life, and she wants me to experience it all. So that's why she moved me to that school, and I learned a lot.
Did you welcome the idea? When your mom said, Pink, I need you to move from an international school
Yeah.
To a public
to a public school, how did you take that?
I was really sad. I didn't like that at all because I had like good friends here, and why do we need to move? You know, I don't like changing so much because throughout my whole life I've been like changing so much. Because ever since kindergarten, I finished kindergarten in Laos, and then I moved to America and like had an American childhood there from like 1st grade to 4th grade. So it's just a lot of changing in my life. I'm just tired of the change.
No. And then you only stay there for a year.
Yeah, only a year because the school, it wasn't about the friends, it was more of the school system. It was really strict.
When you say strict,
I mean, like the rules,
walk us through.
the clothing, like the rules, like, and the people also. There was only one teacher, and there was like 45 students. So in this school, it's more close and more like one-on-one. It's like less people, and I could learn better.
Reminds me of my high school too. You know, one teacher, 50, 60 students. in a very hot classroom, one fan, one teacher, and somehow, if you're a teacher at that particular kind of school, you forget about the rest. If you're sitting at the back,
they're not there.
They're not there. Only those at the front. Would you say it's the same?
I sat in the middle. In the public school, I sat in the middle. But in here, I sat in front. Here in the school, I sit in front.
You gotta get all the information.
Yeah.
All right. Now, how did you take that kind of change? Did you know that it's only gonna be a year?
No, I thought at first, when I first moved, I thought it was going to be forever until I graduate. So I was really upset. But it's not like I'm moving to another country, so I was kind of fine with that because I still talk to my friends, play with them. But I was in another environment that I don't know anyone, I don't know how the school works. And so it was really like...
You didn't make any friends there?
Yeah, I made friends.
You did?
But I bet towards the end.
No, I made friends ever since I joined. I've always been like the person who attracts friends. Like, I'm just a really friendly person. I know how to talk to people. So it was.
If I'm a student and I'm really an introvert, teach me how do I make friends? Because a lot of students struggle with that too, and they're shy from other people, so they find it hard to be in a school environment. How can you?
In my way, it's more of like, say we have a new student at our school, like in my experience, he was a really shy introvert, but it was business class actually, it was your class. Remember Kino?
Really?
Yeah.
Kino, yes! I remember him. You remember him?
Yeah, I just
Who's that again?
From New Zealand?
Oh,
With
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, I feel like I went to go talk to him and go talk to him. If you need help with anything, you can ask me. And if I showed him the schedule, where the classes are, yeah, that's how I started talking to them, like, introduce them to the school. But when I moved there, how I made friends, I'm not sure how I made friends because they came to me. They came like interested, like, oh, what's your name? Like, how, like, where did you move from? They came to me.
You know, it's nice to have students who are like this. You know, if you're a new student and you're coming to a new school, you just want to be part of something.
Yeah, somebody to show you the ropes.
Yes, you know, someone to tell you this and that, this how it works. You easily adapt to it. It's really nice.
Yeah.
To have that kind of student at school. And apparently Pink is one.
A lot of them can be mean.
Actually, that's what I thought of Pink back then.
She gave that vibe?
She gave that vibe. But the thing is, this was during COVID time when everybody was wearing masks. And I could only see the eyes. Everybody could only see the eyes, you know? So it was kind of hard to see the whole face and kind of read the face. Is this student a nice student or a mean student? Yeah. So it was kind of hard to tell. So basically, finding about this now, it's kind of giving me a different side of, like, different perspective of you.
Which is good.
Which is good. And it's a good thing it's not too late.
Right.
It's never too late to get to know your students.
Never too late. Now, Pink, we notice a transformation, right? But the transformation is in two parts. There is the transformation on the education side and on your physical side. Let's start with education. I noticed you became more focused on your studies. Involved too. You want to participate in this and that. You just want to be out there for the good reasons. But back then, you were more
reserved. This is what we've noticed with what we've observed throughout the years. It's not like a one-time thing that we saw it this particular day, then the next day it's like this now. It takes time.
It's for a period of time.
And we usually do that. We look at students, there's a change.
Yeah. And we often talk about that, how that affects the students. And most of the time it's towards, the good side of things. And that's what we've observed about you.
Yes. The question is, what clicked for you to say, you know what, I need to take school more seriously? What happened? Did anything happen? Did somebody tell you to make this change?
Basically, what or who's the catalyst that started it all?
Okay, so I would say before I moved to the other school, I was a really good student in this school. I was getting good grades except with my Lao subject because obviously I haven't adapted that yet. So with the English subject, I was a good student. And then I moved to that school and a lot changed when I moved to that school because I was more exposed to a new environment that I've never been in and exposed to more people. And I was involved with a group of not so good people. And it made me change as a person because I was just, and during that stage I was a preteen, and during the preteen mind you wanted to fit in. Nobody wanted to be different. You wanted to fit in, you wanted to be cool, you wanted to fit in with them. So that's what I did. That's what I was trying to do for the years. That's why during those period of time that I wasn't focused on studies or anything, I was focused on trying to be a part of what I was, something that I was not. And for that period of time, my mindset was just having fun. I didn't care about school or anything at all. And then until I think it wasn't one day, it was just for a long period of time while I was having that fun and whatever. I just realized that I wasn't really having fun. It was just temporary happiness. And the next day I wake up, it's just the same. I wasn't fulfilled. So I wanted to be more than that. I wanted to be more than just fun and just temporary. I wanted the happiness to be forever. So that's why I started thinking what I'm doing isn't really benefiting my future in any way. And I wanted to change for my future. So I wanted to quote, my favorite quote is, if you're not changing, you're choosing. By that it means that in the environment you are that you can't control and you're just complaining about it every single day and you're not changing anything about it. It could be relationship, work, money, any problems like that, health, and you're just complaining about it every single day and you're not doing anything about it. You're choosing to go down that path. So that's what I thought. I saw that quote and I just realized, yeah, I'm right. I'm not doing anything about my life right now and I don't want this anymore. So I choose to go another path.
Would you constantly talk to yourself about it?
Yeah, I wouldn't talk to myself, I would think about it. I would think about what I'm doing every day and then realize that for the past years I've just been wasting my life.
So nobody actually
No.
encouraged you, urged you, or pushed you to change?
No, it was more of happiness. The only reason I did that when I had to go have fun and didn't care about school was because it gave me a certain sense of high, a certain sense of dopamine, happiness, for only a period of time. But I wanted to be happy like that forever, but not only for a period of time.
You didn't care about the backlash from your friends? Because now, if you change, you're changing for yourself, but you also have to change how you interact with your friends. They want you to hang out, you say no.
Yeah,
I have other things to do.
Which means you have to have a different group of friends if you choose that side.
So when the school year ended, I kind of distanced myself from the people that were giving me bad influences. And that went kind of bad because they just thought I was just a bad person, but I have to do what's best for myself. I tried to talk to them though. I tried to tell them what are you doing with your life? You should get right on track. But at that age, no one really thinks about that at that time.
Right. It takes a lot to come to your senses, basically. How old were you then?
I was around preteen, so I would say 13, 14.
Yeah, that takes a lot of, I don't know what.
It takes courage.
Yes, so the friend side, but having to think about your future, about what you're doing with your everyday life.
At that age?
At that age, without anyone telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Because my parents, they know me. I feel like they already know like what kind of person I am, and they let me experience the world. They're not strict with anything at all. I don't have any night routine or anything. I don't have to go at home a certain time. They let me experience life and let me learn for myself.
I remember this time. You used to tell me about this.
Mm-hmm.
You told me that she told you about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of parenting also has its pros and cons. Maybe if another person is going through the same thing, they wouldn't have thought what I was thinking. It depends on the person, but I could think for myself at that time. And my parents knew that I could. They believed in me, which I'm not sure, but yeah.
Very mature way of, developing yourself.
Yeah. So now would you say your life is way better when you decided to take life more seriously? Are you enjoying life a little more than you did when you had all the fun?
Mm-hmm. And the word happiness, the true happiness that you mentioned, do you actually experience it on a daily basis?
Now I feel like my life is definitely way more better because I actually see a future for myself. I know what I want to do in my life. I know my goals, and I have a goal, and I'm trying to reach it. So I feel like I'm way happier, and I've been accomplishing some things. So I feel happy about that because back then I haven't accomplished anything, and it's just like no goals or anything for my future, no future plans or anything like that.
Okay, so the second transformation.
Let me just mention a couple of things. First one is when she came up to me and asked me if she could join one of those Olympiads that we have, international Olympiads. And the first thing that came to my mind was, is this pink?
Right, you couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it because I knew you, as I said, as someone who was very reserved. I didn't even know you that well, that in my head I was thinking, you were just a very quiet student. Just come to school, do your thing, and leave. That's the only knowledge I had of Pink. So when she came up to me and asked me about this,
you were surprised.
Not only surprised, confused.
Right.
Like, what's going on? What's going on? And the second one is about being involved in voluntary work. That's another thing. Again, it goes back to the same thinking I had of Pink. Like, she wants to be involved, more involved. So I was also
more curious.
More confused, in a way.
What is she up to?
What is going on? What is she up to? Is this really Pink? Now tell me, what made you kind of decide to be more involved? Although you already mentioned that, you had to go through these things and you thought about your life, your future, what's really going to happen. Tell us a little bit more why you wanted to be more involved.
Well, before I focused on stuff at school, I focused on my mental health first. So I fixed up myself like the way I thought, and then after that, I moved on to my physical health. Like before, I was a little bit like overweight, or you can say, if you remember, I was overweight. But then I didn't want to be that anymore, so I fixed my mental health and physical health. And then once I got all that like ready, I started going into school stuff, and I wanted a better academic life. Because I'm always going to be finishing school soon anyways, so I thought maybe if I make the best out of it now, and then after school, I can make the best out of everything.
I like the way you live your life now.
Yeah. And somehow even though I didn't know you back then, I feel so proud that you've changed. I'm not part of that change. That was all you. But seeing how you grew from the moment I first met you until today, it's just amazing to see the transformation.
Yeah.
And that's also another reason why, or actually the main reason why you're here. That's the reason why we have invited you to come and share your experience.
Yeah. I remember when I used to teach her. See, I always knew how smart she was, right? But there were times it would be disappointing to see that she's not really trying. Because like she said before, she wasn't
that involved.
Focused.
She wasn't focused.
No. But seeing this change, like you say, a beautiful thing, Pink.
It's a beautiful thing. You mentioned you first had to take care of your mental health. Then you moved on to your physical health, right? Walk us through those two things. Walk us through. What happened? What did you do?
When I first realized what I was doing in my life, I wanted a change. And for that, I had to realize what I'm doing and what I want for the future. So first, with my mental health, I kind of just, it wasn't a good place back then, so I wanted to be in a better place. So I just started maybe meditating and started thinking more about what I wanted to. Yeah, I used to meditate for at least 30 minutes every single morning. I would tell myself affirmations, what I want to do in my life.
How would you do it?
Well, I would wake up and then tell myself what my future and what I want every single day. I wouldn't talk to myself in the mirror. I would just sit in bed and then think about stuff like my life and think about, I want this in the future. I want to be successful. I want to be a better person for myself in the future every single morning. And then that just started improving my mental health. And then once I was improved, I wanted to look better. I wanted to be more physically fit and more healthy.
And I remember before you even started going to the gym, I think you told me that you're signing up for the gym. Of course, I didn't believe it.
But years later.
Yeah, months later.
Oh, months later.
I was really dedicated, so it didn't take long for a couple of months, but I didn't want to overwork myself, so I had a balance between going to the gym and then relaxing at home. Because if you overwork yourself, what that's going to do is you're only going to be productive for the first couple of months, and then after that, that's when the failure starts happening. That's why most people fail going to the gym or working out, because at the beginning they overwork themselves too much. And I didn't want that to happen, so I just slowly go at my pace.
Okay.
I like the way she thinks. It's hard to understand how she has this kind of thinking when we were at her age that time.
I wasn't thinking that way.
No, just play.
What's gym?
Yeah, right? What's mental health?
Mental health.
What's be healthier?
Yeah.
We didn't know these things.
We didn't.
And it's really nice to think that we have students who think this way. Now, after that time, there was a period when we've noticed you're doing it way too much.
Right.
Right. You're losing so much weight that Teacher Davis would often say,
I'm worried.
Yeah, I'm worried.
I remember.
Using your own words, did you overwork yourself?
Well, that's when I started focusing on my gym and stuff and losing weight and stuff. And so of course at first I wasn't aware that what I was doing. I don't know what I was doing until I realized that I am overworking myself. And then when I realized that I was overworking myself,
You found a balance.
Yeah, I found a balance between overworking myself.
So how is it now? How do you balance your mental health, your physical health, your academic excellence, if I should say?
Business.
Plus business. Tell us.
Actually, now I really like being productive. I always like having things to do. I like my free time, but I would after school. So for example, in school, I would focus on school, and then for example, vacation, I would focus on vacation. What a lot of people do is when they're at vacation, they would think about, I have a project due or whatever. But no, where the place is at, I would focus on whatever that I'm doing. So I could divide it. And after school, I would usually go to the gym, and then after the gym, I would go work with my dad. So I would divide that time, and then after work, I would just go home and then relax. I don't think about like school stuff. I don't think about work or gym. So that's how I divide.
So you actually do what you have to do when you are at that particular place.
So I would be focused on that.
You're at school, you focus more on school. At home, focus more on home things.
Similar to Jeff Bezos, he was asked a similar question. You got so much going on, but how do you focus on one thing? Let's say you're at dinner. How do you not think about what's going on in your business? You say, no, I just block it out. That's the best way.
I think for many others, they have not realized how important it is to only act where you're supposed to. I mean, if you are at school, you do what you have to do at school. If you are, as you said, dinner, enjoy the food, you know, talk to your family, and do as you should, which is just have dinner, eat dinner, enjoy the food. For so many, it's kind of probably hard to do it this way. Now, there are many out there who are struggling, time management, you know, with their mental health, especially kids your age, with their mental health, their physical health, their confidence. What is your advice to them? How can they become like you?
A better version.
A better version of yourself.
Well, I think, of course, you should definitely do it for yourself. You shouldn't listen. You can listen to other people, but you could get their opinions, and then maybe if you agree or don't agree, that's up to you. But I think for me, I didn't really care about like what other people were thinking about me. I only cared about. I wouldn't say I only care about myself, but if they benefit, then okay, I'll take their opinions. But if they don't benefit, if my friend, and I asked advice from my friend, and she does not have the same life path as me, and she does not have the same goals, and she gives me her opinion, then I wouldn't really agree with it because we don't have the same goals in life, right? So with that, I would say, like, caring about other people's opinions. At the end of the day, people only care about themselves, so you should also care about yourself. So, for example, a lot of people will also always think about something embarrassing happened like 2 years ago. Like, nobody is thinking about that, only you are. So,
that's actually true. Now, I have a last question. I think we've held you.
Yeah, way too long.
Way too long.
I think her notes have run out.
Not yet.
Now, when you were overweight, as you put it, you had a circle of friends. Did anybody ever tell you, did you have any friends who ever told you, Pink, I think a gym would do you justice? Or were all your friends just in support of your lifestyle?
No, I don't think any of my friends told me to lose weight or told me anything about my lifestyle. I think it was more my family. They just hinted at me. They didn't want to start any problems with me because at that time they know that if they start arguing with me or start something with me, then I wouldn't listen to them because I would see that as like an argument. And in an argument, people tend to be like, they tend to be, for example, if they feel like they're being attacked, then they would want to defend themselves. So
even if it's positive.
Yeah, so they know if they talk to me or they're able to be turned into an argument, I wouldn't listen to them. So.
And even if it's true, you will still, if you feel like you're being attacked, you'll always defend yourself.
Yeah, you'll always.
I think it's natural.
You just don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you just don't want to hear it. I know that.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I know. I'm
you don't
aware.
have to tell me.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
All right, so self-awareness is one thing, but also, as Pink mentioned, don't listen to the opinions of others. Now, that's the thing. As human beings, we do have to. We do have to listen to people's opinions. But how do we know which one to listen to and which one to forget.
Like I mentioned earlier, if they have the same goals and they're going the same path as you, then you should listen. But if they're just talking just to talk.
And there are people like that, right?
People
like talking just to talk. Some people don't like it when you're almost successful. They want to feel superior to you. So they will tell you like.
So there are people who are mad right now that you lost weight, you're doing good academically. Do you have friends who are not happy that you're excelling in life?
I'm not sure if I have that friends or not, because even if
So
I
you
did,
have good
because I already
friends?
cut them off.
Okay.
Because I already cut them off a long time ago, so I don't think so.
Good.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Before we end, is there anything you'd like to say to anyone who's watching this?
So, I want to quote another of my favorite quote is, if it was easy, everybody would do it, but that's why you should do it.
Okay.
All right. Does that need any explanation?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Okay.
All right. And that
was Pink, ladies and gentlemen.
Pink, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Pink, for honoring us with your presence.
Thank you. I hope we didn't keep you too long.
Yeah.
Thank you, Teacher Davis and Teacher Chris, for having me here.
Sure. You're welcome. Anytime.
Anytime. Let us know if you're interested in another episode of our podcast.
Right.
Yeah, we'll invite you.
We're out.
We're out.
That was a good thing.